Hello. I am finishing off my snack. I thought I had more time. This is not cantaloupe. This is a melon. It's a melon, but it's very crisp, almost like an unripe melon. Very weird. I'm on time. Or are you talking to Carrie? This is orange. Yeah. Sorry, guys, but if I'm going to get through live, I have to have a snack. In not the entire United States, but portions of the United States go through a time change. What is it, twice a year? So for us, it's usually in the spring. And so we go up an hour, and in the fall we lose an hour. Or gain an hour, depending upon. I guess in the spring we lose an hour, and in the fall we gain an hour. So it's really weird. It started with the farmers, and then they're trying to change it, but there seems to be a lot of people that still like it. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do. Anyway, we're gonna give it a few more minutes. I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm doing okay-ish. I can't really complain a whole lot. We are expecting severe storms. We're under a watch or a warning from 4 o'clock until sometime later. And it could be very severe. I'm not comfortable necessarily, if it does go severe, being live. If there's a lot of lightning and thunder, I would just as soon postpone the live or cancel the live and put it later in the year, just because if I do have to seek cover, I don't want to scare you guys. So there is that. Let's see, is there anything else? No. high winds, possibly hail, large hail, possibly tornado. That's up in the air. For those of you that are new, I am Charlie, aka Nature Guy X46. This is the Natureverse 4.7, and today we are looking at not one, but two insects, but more precisely, two flies, one from the United States and one from Australia. And they are the tiger bush fly, or I'm sorry, the tiger bee fly and the bush fly, which I forgot. Darn it. I'll be right back. I gotta grab them off the printer. I am so absent-minded sometimes. No, shoe fly is a pie. And we're not going to talk about pie. Not on this channel. So, the tiger bee fly, very, very unique looking fly. Very dark. Sort of looks like a bee. That's what it looks like. It's a pretty good sized bee, or pretty good sized fly, rather. And we're going to talk about it. That's the first one we're talking about. The scientific name is going to be inserted now, I think. I'd love to make this automated, where I just say the name and it automatically puts it in, but that's not happening. So, if you ever see one of these, and unfortunately, Nature Fan, I don't think you're going to. These guys are native to the United States, and they are parasites. There are around 800 species of bee fly in the United States. And this particular species parasites an animal that we talked about last week or the week before, the carpenter bee. So if you see this guy, chances are really good you have this guy nesting close by. And we talked about carpenter bees, like I said 2 weeks ago, a week ago, on February 24th at 1 p.m. So you can find it by looking under lives on my community page or somewhere in there. You will no doubt see these guys hanging around the nest of a carpenter bee, or the hole of a carpenter bee. And that just makes sense because the fly is a parasite on the carpenter bee. That makes sense. The maggot, or the larva, of the bee fly feeds on the carpenter bee larva. So, but we need to clear a few things up. Maybe we don't, but we're going to go with yes. You might be confused with the whole bee and fly thing, but let me calm your nerves. No, this is not a bee. It does not sting, and it does not bite. However, the mimicry that is going on, and I don't think it looks much like any bees we have around us, but maybe in other places it does. I don't know. However, it must work because it says that it does. And they're using Batesian mimicry, which I think I talked about in a video somewhere on my channel. They are around an inch to 3/4 of an inch in size. Unlike many other flies, including the one we're going to talk about later, this guy is a good guy. He or they control the carpenter bee population. They also pollinate flowers, which is a little bit different from flies, but they do. They pollinate late summer native plants. And yes, the adults do feed on nectar and pollen. So there you go. Bottom line, if you see one of these by your home and you're in the United States, you don't have to kill them. Now, in case the question comes up, there are bee flies that live in England and in Wales. So they are in the UK. The name for this guy is the tiger bee fly. Tiger bee fly. So not yeah, it's, if I've said otherwise, it is that. Any questions? Sometimes I get a lot of information and sometimes I don't. It is sort of a confusing name. And it's probably not the only one that's going to be confusing that we're going to talk about, but today, yeah. Yes, it is. I didn't even think about that. Luckily, tigers don't fly. Now, if you enjoyed this segment, please hit the like button, share the video with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to the Natureverse 4.7 channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming lives or videos or shorts. This live we are going to discuss 2 insects. So far, we've only done 1. that use a clever defense mechanism. What is the defense mechanism that the bee fly uses to avoid predators by looking like a more dangerous animal? And what animal is it mimicking? Both of which I talked about during that segment of the live. Anyway, while you're thinking about that, we are going to move on and talk about this guy. Now, this is a bush fly, or we don't get a lot of people from Australia coming in, but my information says that we do. So this happens to be a female. And bush flies are native to Australia. The oldest fly, what the heck? Is that what you guys are seeing? Please tell me no. No. Okay, good. They can be found throughout the continent of Australia. These sexes are actually sexually dimorphic, which means that if you were to see male and female next to each other, you could tell the difference. Adults are 4 to 8 millimeters long, or 0.15 inches to 0.31 inches long. Now, you'll know that you're looking at a female because the females have an abdomen that's this part, or actually maybe it's easier to see. I know this is not a fly. This is the abdomen. This is the abdomen, this part here. So really quick, head, thorax, abdomen. It is a little bit so females, the abdomen is going to be gray or black. So we have a gray abdomen. And her eyes, the compound eyes, the big eyes, they're going to not touch in the center. And the males, on the other hand, are going to have an orange abdomen or a brown abdomen with a dark base. So I'm thinking here will be dark. And it also has a black dorsal stripe. So on the back, the males will have a black stripe or a dark stripe. It says black. Okay. And the male's eyes will be touching. So that's how you can tell males from females. The bush fly has a life cycle that is very much like other flies. They're going to lay eggs. The eggs will hatch out and be a larva or a maggot. The maggot will transform into a pupa. And from the pupa, they become adults. So, you may have seen fly pupa. They're usually brownish and a little sort of oval shape. My computer's talking. Females can lay 5 batches of eggs, each batch numbering as high as 50 eggs. The eggs are laid in moist cow dung. Now, dung. You have to know that it can't be too wet, just moist. Because if it's too wet, they won't use it. They lay their eggs on the cow dung. They will also use the feces of native animals, horses, and just about any other animal out there. They are also known, it gets worse, guys, it gets worse. I'm not done ruining your day. They will feed on secretions as adults from around the eyes, the nose, and other areas as well. They will feed on tears, saliva, blood, mucus, pus, all of that fun stuff. And they are not innocent. They are not like the bee fly, where they don't cause any issues. These guys cause issues. They can spread pink eye amongst cattle and maybe people. I don't know. They will feed on cuts and sores and make infections, as you can imagine. They can also, if they land on your food, they can pass E. coli, as well as some other really nasty stuff. So, yeah. A little bit more about their life cycle. The eggs develop fairly quick. At 32 degrees Celsius or 89 degrees Fahrenheit, it will take the eggs just 7 hours to hatch. So in less than a day, they can go from egg to maggot. And then the larva will feed in the cow feces for 2.5 to 3 days. And then they will change into pupa. They will bury themselves into the ground for 3 to 18 days and then emerge as adults. Now, it'll take the adults 3 days. 3 days for them to become fully functional adults. Well, but you know, they're not the only fly that can unalive you. So you got to be careful with that, because there's a lot of flies in the United States and elsewhere that if they land on your food and they feed on your food, they can spread disease too. So, and we have horse flies. I mean, I don't know which is worse. We also have butt flies, so Nature Fan, they have a limited lifetime, so I'm going to say fly years. Now, the adults will be active between 12 degrees Celsius or 35 degrees Celsius. For those of us that don't use Celsius, that is 53 degrees Fahrenheit or 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything over 95, and the flies will seek shelter to stay cool. No, we have bot flies. Most of them are going to be in rodents, but I know for a fact that there was a cat brought into the animal hospital at one point with a botfly. So, different type of botfly, but still a botfly. Anything higher than 95 will send, anything higher than 95 degrees will send these flies to take shelter. They prefer open areas like prairie or desert, and they avoid forest. Now, if you live in Australia, you're going to see more of these flies after the monsoon season passes. So, just so you know. Yeah, I agree. Botflies are not pleasant. But it is a fact of life if you go into South America or even Mexico. So Mexico, Central America, South America. Yeah. That is our segment on the tiger bee fly and the bush fly. Up next, we're going to look at what's coming up in the Natureverse with upcoming lives and upcoming videos. Any questions while I hunt that information up? And again, I just want to remind everyone, in case you didn't hear me or didn't see the notes yesterday when I posted it, we are expecting bad weather tonight in my area. The possibility of tornadoes, large hail, lots of thunder and lightning. I don't want to deal with it. If I do have to have my Chromebook plugged in during live, I don't need a power surge hitting it. So it will be, if there's a possibility of bad weather, I'm going to cancel live. And we will relive what was coming up at 6 p.m. in October. What is supposed to be coming up at 6 p.m. is box elder bug, which is a true bug, along with small grass cicada, and I think that cicada is native to the UK. I think. Friday we are doing Madagascar Forest and Madagascar. It is exhibit focus. And then Arctic Passage and Tundra Track in the evening. Saturday. Let me ask you guys, and maybe it doesn't matter to you. Saturday's evening live is not going to happen. I will not be home. So, it is supposed to be Huckleberry and Serviceberry at 1 p.m. and then the Leche Tomato and Cape Gooseberry at 6 p.m. I know for a fact I will not be home that evening. So I'm going to move that. I will bump that to October. March 17th, we are going to be doing the Back Swimmer, which is a water bug, and the Water Strider, which I don't know if they have them in the UK or not, but they're a bug that actually walks on top of the water. They're pretty cool. And then March 17th, we're going to do the Colorado potato beetle and the tomato hookworm. which is not a hookworm. It's not a parasite. It's actually a caterpillar. March 20th, we are going to do the steppe and the wooded steppe. And then March 20th at 6 p.m., we're going to do pine barrens and hardwood swamps. And so those are the upcoming lives. Upcoming videos. I have recorded the Buckeye as a group and mermaids as a cryptid. Those are recorded, ready to go. I have to put the video together for those. Horsehair worm, Swanee moxkin shell, basically put together. I can tell you that it looks like the mermaid video, although it's not edited yet, so it has all of the beautiful mess ups in it. It is about 12 minutes, so it's a longer video. And then Swanee River as a habitat, Cursed as a geology, and then the black weaver spider, which will be an introduction to that animal. Just as a reminder, for those of you that are new to my channel, I go live Tuesdays, Friday, and Saturday at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. Yeah. Was it? I think it was longer-ish, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. It was 10 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm going to try my best, because I haven't done pictures yet for the mermaid video. I'm going to try my best to show the different mermaids, because there's quite a few of them. Problem is, my time talking about each one is pretty brief. So I'm going to do my best. Some of them are going to be AI. Some of them are not going to be AI. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully I do it justice. So now, if you enjoyed this segment, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, most importantly, subscribe. Not all mermaids are pretty. And to begin with, some of them are not pretty. I can tell you that right now. It always takes a minute to get to the point where I can scroll through documents. Okay, the problem is, the cultures that they come from. That's the bigger issue. So I don't have pictures for all of these guys. And I'm going to mess up some of these guys. I'm telling that right now. I don't know what the river Olsons look like. The blue men of the Minch, also called storm kelpies, Kaminas, which were basically goddesses of wells and fountains, Corrigans, very much like a siren. They actually led men to their deaths, so I imagine they probably were on the better looking side. Dracs are water serpents who also could shape change. Finfolk come from the Orkney Islands. Mal de Mer came from Brittany. Marrows come from Ireland, and they're known to have greenish skin. Not pretty. No, these are not considered water sprites. The Noke come from Scandinavia. They're shapeshifters. Nereids from Greek mythology. They look a lot like your mermaids. From Japan, or Japan myth, but not Japanese. A humanoid whale creature. Nixies come from Germanic folklore. Rosalki is a freshwater mermaid. Shellycoats is a creature from England and Scottish lore, more freshwater. I have no idea. Selkies, again, from Ireland and Scotland, as well as Iceland. Tritons come from the Greek. Lots of different creatures. Not all of them are going to be pretty. Some of them are going to be nice. Some of them are going to be mean. I didn't go into a lot of the myth associated with these cryptids. So it's sort of, it's broken down. Yeah, they are. A mermaid is half human and half sea creature. Not all of them are going to be fish. So if you look at they're not going to be pretty. That's probably the classic mermaid. You might be hard pressed to find them. in the sense that what you think of a mermaid, you're probably going to be hard-pressed to find that. The Alven, which is the first one that I talked about, they're actually a type of elf, but they're a shape changer. And they're typically a freshwater mermaid. The Blue Men of Minch, they're violent. They have blue skin and they like poetry, evidently. So some of these guys, like the Corrigans, these are mermaids in the sense that they are that cross. It is a different type of mermaid. So there are mermaids, like you would think of typical mermaids, and then there are mermaids. And some of these guys are different. Yes, mal de mer is a term associated with seasickness. I'm going to do my best to find pictures or create pictures. So it depends on what country you're in, and the myth behind it, basically. Yes, there is a street. There's a house behind me, a street, a few more houses, and then railroad tracks. So we do occasionally get trains. Unfortunately. But honestly, it's not too bad. There are reports. There's a lot of information in that video that I think Nature Fan is going to like. But at the same time, I try to leave it open for people that maybe don't believe. And I don't even know if I believe. most of the cryptids I have a really hard time with. Like, a the classic mermaid, like Ariel. If they don't have gills, they couldn't be too deep because they would have to come up and get air. If they have gills, they can live deeper. The problem is a human-ish mermaid or merperson may not be able to sustain the depth. So, interesting to think about. But more, that'll be that video. I don't know. Spider Week will have black weaver spider, dark fishing spider, common house spider, red widow as a poisonous venomous animal, raft spider, woodlouse hunter spider, and the red spotted ant mimic spider. The water pressure would crush them, yes. They would have to have some adaptation to keep that from happening. Yeah. They would have to be adapted for that, or yeah. And I was listening to something today, and they were talking about a cryptid monster, whatever you want to call it, that supposedly is able to suck the air out of your lungs. And so basically you dry drown. You end up dying from drowning, but it's a dry drowning. They call them water vampires or something like that, sea vampires. And they might be another mermaid. Sorry. So yeah. I've made templates, and using the templates, I can honestly say, since I've been using them, they require a little bit different way of doing the videos. There's more information or the templates require more information than my normal videos would. We're going to be doing the horsehair worm, and it opened my eyes. I knew what horsehair worms were going into the video. I had no idea some of the stuff was new to me. And the Swanee Moxkin shell, its script is basically done. After the spiders, we're going to do sea cucumbers as a group, Bengal tiger, bay leaf, American skunk cabbage. I don't know if I'm going to do the from my collection item, finger leaf gourd, and insects as a group. So that is what is coming up. Yeah. So I would say when you watch my cryptid videos, do so with an open mind. Don't assume that you know everything there is to know. Keep an open mind. And you might be surprised. I'm not going to probably prolong today's live a super lot, just because I want to work on a video and also have a nap. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I don't do storms. So I probably will be downstairs for most of the evening. Yeah. I'm hoping it's a quick one, guys. It's already been cloudy all day. I've talked about baleen whales. In fact, I did baleen whales as a group in 2024. Problem is, some of the sharks have whales in their names, as do other animals. So baleen whales in 2024, bowhead whale, which is a baleen whale, in 2024, two groups of whales in 2023, which talks about baleen whales. Right whale is also another baleen whale. That was in 2023. Humpback whale, 2021. Blue whale, 2020. It's okay. I wish some of the people that are in the I wish some of the people that come into the man, my brain is not working. I wish the people that were in the comment section of videos would come into lives. That's the other thing I need to do. I need to do shorts. But anyway, that's what's going on. Does anybody have anything else? Any other questions, concerns? I know it's only 4 minutes, but I've been going to bed a little bit earlier. The weekly trivia, are you talking shorts? Are you talking the Nature Fan? Are you talking the trivia? Oh, no, I do trivia. I don't do trivia all the time on live streams, but I did ask a question. Nobody answered it. Oh, yeah. I just I need to add some more questions, I guess. I can do that. I've been busy. If that's something you guys want, I can do it. It was more for engagement. And to break up the live. Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm about ready to take a pain pill. And I've been taking pain pills more at night so I can sleep. But right now, let me tell you, I probably will eat something and then take a pain pill and lay down for a little bit. Anyway, guys, I will work on that. Nature Fan, thank you for that reminder. I will talk to you guys later. Be good, everybody, and I will see you hopefully tonight. If not, I will see you Friday. I will talk to you later, guys. Bye bye.